The first thing I saw, the very first thing I noticed after I became aware was, why is it so dark? And once it was dark, I couldn't find any water to drink. And then shortly after that, I slowly started to realize that time itself had completely stopped. Spending just 4 days here was actually equal to 40 long years over there.
And what was the atmosphere like? The atmosphere was...
I saw it right here, but it just didn't have any light at all. There was absolutely no light reaching it. And was it hot? Well, it was actually quite a bit hotter than this one is.
Dark?
Yeah, it was dark, echoing kind of halfway between... What do you call it? Like when it's about to rain, or like around 6 in the evening when it's dark like that. Was it like that all day and night?
And what did we eat? Were we able to eat food?
We could eat whatever we wanted. Just by thinking about it, it would appear. Or if we thought about wanting to go to 7-Eleven, it would just pop up right in front of us. But there was no water to drink there.
Were you starting to feel hungry at all?
No. I can't really say if I was hungry or not. If you ask whether I was hungry, at that moment, I couldn't say if I was hungry. I didn't feel hungry.
And did you meet anyone? Were there other people in that place?
When I was fast asleep, I really have to say, when I went there and you asked if I saw anyone else, I did. But I saw them in a completely different way. It wasn't like regular people just walking around. I was in another place entirely. Almost like I was at my own home, looking down from high above. It made me see that there was a man standing right in the middle. Let's say we were walking past each other back and forth, but then it turned out we had to go the same way. That man was standing in the middle, and he was the one telling people where to go, who should go where and who should go somewhere else. No matter how much merit you've made together, how long you've been married, or what promises you've made to each other, when that moment comes, you always have to part ways. The amount of merit you've accumulated determines your next existence. If you've done good, you'll go to a good realm. If you've lived poorly, you'll end up in a less fortunate realm. It's something like that. He pointed out clearly that this person goes this way, and that person goes that way. One path has a lot of people talking about it, while the other path has very few people taking it. It made us realize that right there, it's like someone is about to tell you whether you'll go to heaven or hell. Heaven and hell aren't far away, they're right here. It's right here, it's in your heart. Your heart. If it's like hell, it means when you do something wrong, you feel restless, anxious, and tormented until eventually you can't live in peace. It's like the ground is on fire and you can't stay there. That's what hell is. On the other hand, when you do good things, the results of your actions benefit various people, making others feel good too. That brings good things back to you, and it makes you feel happy. You feel comfortable and at ease, as if you're in heaven. And it's the same, heaven and hell are right here. I slept for 4 days. If you ask, those 4 days here are equal to 40 years over there. I can tell you, I've studied it all. Heaven and hell, every religion teaches the same thing. Everyone teaches the same thing, no matter the religion. All religions, when you put them together, have one single purpose, which is to teach everyone to be liberated from the cycle of suffering. But the goals are different. The thing that makes the goals different, let me call it the white path and the black path. The white path teaches you to be free from suffering and to walk towards peace. That's what the white path teaches. Meanwhile, the black path also teaches awareness, but the difference lies in their goals. The goal of the black path is that they feel a sense of satisfaction and enjoyment. What should I call it? The goal of the black path is they feel enjoyment in punishing others, or in seeing those who have done wrong receive punishment. They feel satisfied. It's like the only thing that happened to me was, let me continue the story. After I had seen so many things, the only thing before I came back was, I saw another version of myself. He appeared right in front of me. He asked, no, he didn't ask, he told me, he said to me that I've been neglecting my duties for a really long time. I was confused too, not sure what he was saying. Eventually, I told him that I wanted to go home, that I wanted to go back to the place I wanted to be. He asked me what I had to offer in exchange. I conjured up hundreds of billions, hundreds of millions, thousands of billions, tens of thousands of billions, amounts beyond counting. I gave it all to him, and that's all he did. All that money, right there. It turned to dust right before my eyes. Money that could have made you so rich you could buy the whole world. He just did that, and all that money turned to ashes right in front of me. Meanwhile, for me, money became worthless, and it turned out that, hey, when money meant nothing to me, I tried to find the most expensive liquor he liked, the priciest one I could get my hands on. I thought about it and handed it to him. Did he take it? He did. He even opened the bottle himself, but that liquor, it just became his foot washing water. That bottle of liquor had lost all its value. It could have cost $1 million, $2 million, maybe even $10 million, but it ended up just being someone's foot washing water. It made me wonder, who the hell was that? Something like that. I was curious too until finally he put it on his head, and then he did that thing. I woke up right then.
In which hospital were you in?
Featured hospital. My team got there after that, after I woke up. The only thing that happened to me was, well, two things. The first question was, where am I? Where is this place? I didn't know where this was. I knew it was a hospital, but I didn't know where exactly. And then the second question, or the second thing that came to mind was water. Where's the water? Where did the water go? I wanted to drink water, but it turned out I still couldn't because I was still hooked up to the oxygen line and the feeding tube. I had to wait another 5 or 6 days, I think. Even though I wanted to drink water but couldn't, I wasn't lacking in nutrients. I was still getting nutrients and fluids through the IV, so I could still manage to wait. Now, finally, they've removed all the tubes. What I saw was, these 4 fingers were broken. Yes, broken. There are 3 metal rods supporting it here, and on the right side of my waist, there are 3 more rods. Another 64 black screws in total. No, not 60, I mean about 38 dental crowns in total. Altogether, I have about 64 pieces of metal in my body.
So what kind of accident was this?
The storm hit
Where did the storm hit?
at Khao Luk Chang. After the curve at Khao Luk Chang, there's a straight 4-lane road into Wang Rai. That's where the storm hit.
And did you get hit by a car or?
What happened? You were riding your motorcycle home.
Yes.
I was thrown. Both me and the bike, both of us. From what I asked the rescue team, after I started to remember things, I asked them, and my friends too, they told me that, the rescue team told me that I was about 20 meters away from my bike.
Oh, it was the wind, like a storm lifted you up?
Yeah, the wind blew me one way and the bike another.
Oh, what month was it? What year was it?
It was around, not the first day I went, but after that, August 5th last year, 2019.
Oh, so you were incredibly lucky to survive that intense critical moment. You could honestly say it was almost like you died and then miraculously came back to life during those 4 long days you mentioned.
You might as well say I died, because after I woke up, my memory, things like that, and that memory still lingers, but my original memories, the memories of who I used to be, are completely gone. I can honestly say that the person I am today is not the same person I was before.
Until now.
Eventually, time just kept passing and passing, and finally I got to go home. But when I returned, I still felt like it wasn't my home at all, even though it was the house I'd lived in since I was born. I still felt like it wasn't my home. It took me several more months before I finally started to remember my mom, started to remember my friends, started to remember my dad, started to remember everyone, but even then, my memory didn't come back completely. That means I had become a completely different person, not the same person as before. I have to say, I started to speak. I started to notice that I was speaking more rationally, and I began to incorporate Dhamma into my conversations. But to be honest, I should say that the old me, I wasn't religious at all. But it turned out that now I have every religion within myself. The 7 deadly sins in Christianity, the 5, 8, and 10 precepts in Buddhism, I know almost all of them. Now, in the end, I've come to understand that religion, when you bring it all together, really is, just as they've taught from the very beginning, that everything, religion, comes from the same source. And if you want to know more about this, I have to emphasize that I've written everything down on Facebook. If you're interested, try following this name, Bel Bagol. B-E-L, then a space, Phegor. Try searching and reading it, but it's probably been a while. I wrote it last year.
Alright, this is a compelling story being shared. Right as a sudden accident happened to take place.
After the accident happened,
After a serious accident, the feeling you get can be described as you're no longer aware.
that's right.
You're no longer aware, and then what did you encounter? This is what people have shared, so I'm passing it on to you.
Let me put it this way. I'll give an example between this world and the world I crossed over to. But first, I have to say, let's call it this life and the next life. It's better to use those terms. They're really not that far apart. It's just a different realm that you're about to cross into, using death or life as, what do you call it, the price you pay to cross over. For example, let's say your previous life was in Thailand and your next life is in Laos. The cost to cross between these realms is your life itself. I'll give you a simple example of why I dare to talk about this topic. Let me say first that in my previous life, or before or after I followed, or before I fell asleep or passed away or had an accident, let me tell you, do you know Captain Benz, right? In that life, he didn't exist at all. He wasn't a person there. Teacher Kong didn't exist either, even though he was already so famous. Eventually I woke up. I kept, taking care of myself, and eventually I met Captain Benz. I thought, wow, this guy is so famous. How come I didn't know him before? Now I feel like if he's this famous, he should have been really well known for a long time. He should have had more followers, more people interested in him. But it turns out that he only just became known, or maybe I only got to know him after my accident. I don't really know. I don't understand it either. I really don't get how it's different. But I can honestly say this. In my previous life, there was no Captain Benz, but in this life, there is. And Captain Benz teaches Dhamma in a way that you could say is kind of dark, but it really reaches a lot of people. I have to give him a lot of credit for that because he's helped me understand Buddhism much more deeply. And it's actually similar to what I was taught over there. I guess you could even call it from the other world. It's just like what I was taught in the other realm.